Hello everybody, this is IndieGeek, and today I'm taking a look at Another Star. This is a game by Vision Riders, and it is available for $10. It's only available on Windows, so you do need to keep that in mind. And you can buy it on the Indie Game Stand store, and I believe in a couple days it will also be out on Desura. But I am just going to link to the main website page where you can either download the demo to try it for yourself, and then purchase directly from the developer, who is Vision Riders, if I did not mention that. Okay, so this is meant to kind of emulate the classic kind of JRPG of like the, kind of like the NES and SNES era. So something I do want to show off real quick is the game options. You can go to kind of a more nice looking option, but I like the old kind of TV monitor look here. And I'm just going to start a new save, play maybe like the first 10 or 15 minutes, kind of show what's going off here. So, when the world was still shrouded in darkness, humankind descended from the sky on a falling star and spread across the land. They divided themselves into clans and passed their knowledge and wisdom to their descendants. The strength of clans ebbed and flowed, but the balance of power was stable for countless ages. This balance remained until it was disrupted by the arrival of a new star. One clan took possession of the star and, with its power, forged a kingdom that stretched from sea to sea. Now 200 years later, another star has fallen to the face of the earth, and the balance of power is about to shift once more, in a way no one could have imagined. So, not only do the kind of graphics and gameplay emulate the... Oh yes, I should explain this real quick. What I was going to say though is not only do the graphics and gameplay emulate kind of the classic console RPG, but the story does as well. So, as you can see here, we have tons of difficulty options here, so you can go very, very easy, which is fine. I'm just going to play on moderate here. And this is something that I wanted to play around with to maybe make a little bit of kind of quick progress in the video. I've been playing on normal, but this basically determines how much experience you get. So you can get really overpowered if you play on high, which I will for this video. But you can also make it so that you need to do way more battles to kind of get through. I'm going to skip through this dialogue here. We saw the opening scene dialogue, and I think that is probably about as much as we need to. For the rest of it, I'm just going to kind of explain what's going on. Yeah, well, the chief of our home village is obviously our father, so that's cool. So, the nice thing about this, so I've got this like little bit of woods here. Sometimes there are areas, right, we've got the classic kind of graveyard where we can read the tombstones. So you see that exclamation point, that's my random battle. And that is probably one of my favorite features of this. And this is following kind of a trend lately of making RPGs that call back to kind of the classic NES and SNES, like I was saying, but also does things that are pretty fresh and basically makes them like more modern. And this definitely does a good job of that. And that is one of the things that does it. First of all, there's your option for difficulty levels, so you can really kind of tailor the game to the experience that you want. So for example, like I said, in my personal playthrough right now, I'm going through on normal, and that's just because that's my personal one, but like this one I wanted to show off a little bit more of the game if possible, so I'm able to kind of speed things up. So, as you can see though, the combat is exactly what you would expect from this kind of game. It definitely follows kind of the classic JRPG, and we will get like members of our party, we'll get like some magic spells, stuff like that. But I think one of my favorite things about it is that it really, really does a lot to simplify kind of the JRPG system. And I definitely appreciate that, especially as someone who doesn't necessarily have a ton of time to spend on something like this. It's nice that this is pretty fast-paced. I can get a lot done, and I can really kind of make the game what I want it to be. So, you know, if I don't feel like fighting battles, you don't have to. You can just choose to not fight the battles, and you'll just have like a harder time on the story-related battles. It's a similar system to the Zeboyd games JRPGs, which were, what, Breath of Death 7 and the one, Call of Cthulhu, I think is what it was called, where it's really made to replicate some of the old systems, but at the same time kind of make them feel new. And I definitely appreciate that. So all I did there was I gave my gift to the chieftain, and now I'm going to buy stuff. This is maybe my only complaint, is that there isn't a good way to tell what's better for you than what you already have. And so like all three of those things were auxiliary items, not armor. So if I had bought more than one, I just would have wasted money. And that was something I kind of learned the hard way on my personal playthrough. So maybe if I was going to change anything, it would probably be that. But other than that, I don't really have many complaints. The other thing I want to mention is the sound effects and the music, which is it's pretty sparse, but there still is some music. It's all very good. It definitely, it definitely feels like, again, kind of that old school style, you could say. And if I remember correctly, I believe on the developer's website they said that they were inspired. I don't know if they actually like started it for the competition, but they were inspired by one of the Ludendare competitions, and it was the minimalism competition, which definitely makes sense because this is obviously fairly minimal. And I think one of the things that they mentioned on the site is that it is a pretty small set of sprites, which is kind of cool. I like that. It definitely gives it... Right, can't mess with those guys. Okay, I really need to head back to... Good thing I was able to heal myself there. Holy cow. Yes, I really need to head back. As with like a traditional RPG, we are fighting harder enemies the farther we go from our starting location. So obviously these slimes are much more difficult than the little kind of... I'm not sure what they're called. I'll have to check their name next time they show up. I've just been calling them like the little hedge bush enemies. They are... Weed Gora, yeah, so... Basically, what I was saying. But yeah, as far as the game goes, there's not a whole lot more to really mention. As far as my impressions, I'm definitely having a great time. One thing I was surprised about was that this is not on Steam Greenlight right now, and I don't know. I guess this is like you could call it my call to action to the developer. If you put it on Greenlight, I would definitely vote, and I think a lot of people would. I know some other JRPGs have gotten through Greenlight that, in my opinion, are nowhere near as good as this one. So, I think, you would stand a pretty good chance if you put this up there, but definitely a personal choice. Not saying that you have to. But yeah, I was surprised to see this not on Greenlight, so there isn't a Greenlight link to go to or anything. Maybe in the future. But yeah, I mean, it's really high quality. It's a good game. I'm having a really good time with it so far. And you know, the nice thing about it is everything about it just really screams like old school RPGs. So if you're into that, you know, if you grew up with this kind of stuff, I didn't necessarily like grow up with it, but I've been kind of working my way back through a lot of stuff like this. So you know, it's pretty cool to kind of do this. I guess if I was gonna compare it, maybe like Final Fantasy 1 and 2, so like we're talking quite a ways back in terms of JRPG development. Oh, look at this. Huh. I found an archaeological dig. I didn't find that in my own playthrough. Sorry, I'm not like reading any of this. I figured I wouldn't spend too much time on these story elements for this video, because I mostly just wanted to get kind of an overview of what's going on with the game. You know, as far as story goes, it's, like I said earlier, it's pretty typical kind of JRPG fare. It's not, you know, it's not like treading new ground with story, which is fine. I think that's kind of part of it all too, is that it's supposed to emulate those games in that way too. Oh my goodness, I am going to die. Ooh, okay, so I lived. And you can save at any time. Of course, I waited probably way too long to save there. But yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot more to say. I kind of want to play a little bit more just to show off what else is going on, but there's not, as far as like critique of the game, you know, I don't really have any other critique. This is, like I said, I'm having a good time with it. I think it's really good. I think if you are into this kind of game typically, then this is, you know, it's a pretty obvious pickup. I think I unequipped my gloves. That was a bad idea. You know, $10. That's not bad, especially for something that seems like it's probably got a decent amount of length to it. You saw from my save I had played 45 minutes or so far, and I'm not very far into it, so that's, you know, it really does say something about the length of the game. I think there's probably quite a bit to it. Ooh. Okay. I feel like maybe I should save. I don't know, I have not found this, so this is interesting. Clan law says anything outside the borders of a village may only be taken if it is unclaimed. This is where the hermit lives, so the chest belongs to him. That's right, I don't steal. Yes, I'm the Prince of Clan Minas. That's right. Ooh, what is going to happen? This reminds me of, oh, is he going to teach me, like, magic? Yeah, he did. He taught me a spell. That's really cool. Huh. Nice, so I got basically a fire spell. That's pretty cool. By sacrificing some of your own hit points in battle. Ooh. That's interesting. So there's kind of some risk-reward there for using the magic system. I was going to say this room reminded me of like that first room of the original Zelda, just like the way the hermit was talking. Like, it's dangerous to go alone, take this. Good times. But yeah, this is going to be, I think, a wrap for this one. As I said, of course, I will link in the description to where you can buy it, and like I said, if this looks like something you're into, I would definitely recommend picking it up, because I can definitely tell you that you know, it's high quality, and it is, you know, it's really fun. That's the biggest thing, pretty much always, when it comes to my opinion on games. You know, I always ask, pretty much first and foremost, like, is it fun? And this is fun. It's a lot of fun, having a good time with it, and I think you will too. So, as always, feel free to comment if there's anything that you would like to comment on. Subscribe to the channel to see more of my videos every single day, and if you liked what you saw in my video of another star, then please do consider clicking the like button, because that helps me out a ton, and I definitely appreciate everything that you do to help. So with all of that being said, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.